By the way, what you're seeing here, of course, is the president. He's in Cleveland. We do have some advances of his speech. Among other things, he says that apparently he's not going to be giving tax breaks to those top 2%, or at least that's what part of his speech is. We're going to cover that. He's right now introducing a lot of people who are on the stage. Once he gets into substance, we will go there. As we wait for the president to begin, we're joined by a panel of experts. Former Fannie Mae Chief Credit Officer Edward Pinto for the Housing Perspective, and small business owner Russ Reynolds, CEO of Batteries Plus. And Russ, we believe very strongly in small business here at Fox Business. What does it mean to you when you hear the president say that, look, a tax break for the top 2% is not going to help job growth in this country?
Well, I think one of the things that's misunderstood is that nearly 50% of small business income is reported on individual filings. So we've got a lot of business people that are paying the highest marginal tax rate in the country as it is, and I think they're looking for tax incentives and certainty in the tax burden, not an increase.
Okay, let's listen in to the president, then we'll speak with Ed and Russ more.
Again, trying to suggest that he is in favor of the middle class, but against the rich people getting tax breaks. And Russ, I want to bring you in this because you represent a lot of franchise out there who are not rich people. They don't consider themselves to be rich people. Are they going to be affected by this raising of the top rate?
Well, I think they will. You know, nearly 25% of our owners have come back in the last 18 months and reinvested in opening another store. And I think those folks will give pause if their tax burden is going to increase, if there's uncertainty about tax burden. And I think the lack of simplicity in today's tax code itself is a burden on small businesses.
Well, that's another thing I should mention. And Edward Pinto, I'll throw this to you. Every one of these tax changes that the president has mentioned, whether they're good or bad, are going to add to the pages of an already very thick tax book that we have right now, correct?
That's absolutely correct, and it's going to make life more complicated for everyone. I mean, I'm a small business owner, and I gave up doing taxes years and years ago. I used to do them myself. It's impossible to do.
So what will this do? I mean, regulations and taking more time and doing your taxes has a cost in and of itself. It's kind of like a tax in and of itself, no?
It's a hidden tax, and the accountants and the lawyers have a lot to do based on it. I mean, the issue I had with the speech, and Peter Barnes said, the president is suited up, ready to go. He's back from vacation, but he talked about a lot of these investments, and it reminded me of exactly what happened during the 90s and the early part of this decade, when everybody, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, HUD, were talking about investments, and the president were talking about investments in housing, and it turned out they created a sinkhole. Right. And now he's talking about all these other investments, and he still hasn't recognized what caused this problem, which was an errant affordable housing policy.
Russ, very quickly, it all comes down to small businesses like yours and like the ones that you represent. Are you going to be growing in the next year, or do you think you're going to have to be cutting back?
Yeah, we actually have had record sales and double-digit same-store sales, over the past 4 years, and we'll open about 50 stores this year. But I think that everyone knows history, and I think everyone understands the importance of small business and its importance in the economic recovery. And I think we've got to see incentives in tax relief, tax certainty, and we have to free up lending.
Russ Reynolds, Batteries Plus CEO, Ed Pinto, who was the Chief Credit Officer at Fannie Mae. Good to see you. And Peter Barnes, thank you very much. We are gearing up for the final hour of trading on the